All right. The Thing from 1982. Whew. I can't believe I'm just now watching this for the first time. That's kind of embarrassing because, this is another one of those just famous horror classics. It's directed by John Carpenter. It's starring Kurt Russell. It's a remake of The Thing from Another World from like the late 50s. And it's kind of goes down as one of the greatest science fiction horror films ever made. And I've never seen the original, The Thing from Another World, nor have I seen the remake. Be kind of weird if I had watched the previous remake at least before watching the 1982 version. But um, to say I've seen a movie like this, I think I have, because this movie reminded me a lot of Alien in that you've got these characters that are isolated in a very foreign and unique setting. An Alien, you've got fucking a spaceship, and in The Thing, you've got Antarctica and the freezing, frigid temperatures out there. And your cast is comprised of actually no women, now that I think about it, in The Thing. So a little sexist there, but we got our token black characters, and we've got our scientists or scientists that ends up turning against the group, in that, or I guess a smart character, right? Because you've got Wilford Brimley's character in The Thing, who is the evil scientist Blair. He kind of reminds me of the character from Alien, who I do not remember his name, but he ends up being the robot, the one who's kind of aware of everything going on, and is like, obviously in Alien he was an android that was kind of knew from the very beginning and was a bad guy the whole time. But Blair is turns into a bad guy because he just goes fucking crazy throughout the movie, and he's a nut. And the antagonist, if you will, in The Thing is an alien thing from another world. Just like in Alien, it is clearly an extraterrestrial monster. And throughout Alien, you see on the planet they discover like an alien ship, and in The Thing, once they go back to like the Norwegian lab or whatever, or wherever they were, they find another like alien type ship slash saucer thing. There's a lot of similarities though between The Thing and Alien, and I think Alien's a fantastic science fiction horror film, and I think The Thing is a fantastic science fiction horror film, right? Um, I think one thing you have to talk about when you talk about The Thing is the violence and the gore, because it is quite something to behold. Now, I've never seen this movie, but it's a very, very iconic um, horror film. And I had seen some of the bits and bobs that are pretty famous, I guess, i.e., the scene where he sticks his hands like they're using the defibrillator on the guy, and it opens his stomach and he puts his hands in it and bites it off. Seen that before. I've seen the little head spider thing running around. Like, those are two that I've seen. But I got to admit, man, as I was watching, and specifically early on in the movie, whenever the thing is first showcased in the form of the dog, um, it's a fucking sight to behold, man. Like, it's like a cauldron of just alien monster goop. And it's fucking crazy, all right? And I know they used a lot of stop motion, and whether or not it holds up as a chilling monster of an antagonist, I guess, excuse me, that's kind of case by case. Personally, do I take it completely serious? Am I scared of it? Not really, but is it impressive looking back and being like, whoa, what the fuck? Absolutely. I think it is. And, the gore throughout. Uh, Personally, I found myself most grossed out when they're fucking cutting their fingers in order to draw the blood sample to test who is or isn't might have the thing inside them when they're doing when they're burning the blood. That was the part that grossed me out the most. I don't know why that is, but I guess I don't know. Maybe I saw at a young age, so gore is all fucked up in my eyes. But yeah, no, it's the thing is certainly unique. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of Alien. It has a lot of um, you know tendencies and a lot of characteristics, I guess, that are a lot different than your conventional horror film from the 80s that is a slasher or some sort of supernatural force. Personally, that aspect of not knowing who the hell is infected or who the killer is or not being able to see on the screen uh, when a killer is present amongst the group of characters, I think it's pretty cool, because a lot of the time you, similar to the cast of characters, are trying to figure out who the fuck is the thing, right? Um, and at times, yeah, whenever I forget his name, but the guy who looks like fucking Priceline Negotiator, William Shatner, like whenever he ends up becoming the thing because he's a little spider or whatever, um, I could tell a little bit before he was exposed that he was probably gonna be the thing. But like whenever they were like doing the blood tests and stuff, I was legitimately like, is he the thing? And like whenever they found Kurt Russell's shirt like tattered off in the storm or whatever, I was like, oh my god! Like I know this movie is pretty ballsy, but is Kurt Russell the main character? Is he really the thing? Like, what a fucking switch up that would be. And ultimately, I think the ending is. I don't really know how I feel about it, because part of me is happy that it's a kind of a sad, dreary ending because I think a lot of movies take the easy way out and are like, "Yay, we have survivors." But in this movie, it's kind of a mixture because it's sad in that yeah, nobody's gonna make it out. They're all gonna die. But at the same time, it's not the worst because you don't actually get to see them die. It just kind of fades to them just like taking a shot because they're aware that like they're gonna freeze to death, but at least they destroy the alien or the thing, I guess, which is kind of cool. And throughout the movie, the evil doctor, whatever, or Blair, aka Wilford Brimley, epic cast, by the way. Um, Whenever he discovers that, like, within 3 years, this thing could overtake the whole human population, and he starts going fucking crazy. It's kind of an interesting kind of parallel, or it kind of hit home because, obviously going through the whole coronavirus thing, I was like, man, imagine if something like that happened now. Like whoa, like it's just I don't know, that kind of jumped out to me. But I'm trying to think because I really enjoyed this movie. I really did. It's certainly a quirky horror film in that if you gave an Alien a 10 out of 10 and you gave The Thing a 10 out of 10, I think they're completely different in that I feel like it's more objectively great when it comes to Alien as opposed to The Thing, because The Thing, I feel like you kind of have to have more of a taste for it because there are some things that I could imagine would be somewhat off-putting. And maybe I'm crazy and maybe I need to watch it again, and I will definitely watch this again. It was good enough to warrant a rewatch, absolutely. But I don't know, I feel like despite having a lot of characters and a lot of character interactions, at times it moved kind of slow. And I mean, it's about an hour and 50 minutes, but there were some points throughout where I was just kind of like, all right, can we move along into some more entertaining or like more riveting scenes? Like, I don't know, it just seemed like there was a lot of time where they just kind of talked and they didn't really build much character or chemistry. But I mean, the ending, as I said, it was kind of a sad but not completely sad ending. I don't really know how I feel about it because part of me wishes that it didn't kind of just fade to black right away, because there's no. I guess I don't know. I suppose I was hoping for a greater climax at the end. Obviously, the film has a great climax at the end, but with our last two characters, because obviously they blow it up with dynamite and stuff, and like they break into Blair's little shack that they imprisoned him in because he was going crazy at the thought of you know this whole thing virus being able to infect the whole world, and they're all doomed, and he's just gets a little bit of like crazy cabin fever or whatever. But like I don't know, I feel like the ending could have been done better. I don't really like how you don't. I don't know how to put it in words, man. I don't know. I feel like the ending was a little weak. I do. I feel like the ending was a little weak. But everything else about the movie I found was pretty entertaining, and I'm really looking forward to watching this again. I feel like because I want to get like my thoughts out here. Just I finished watching the movie 20 minutes ago, and just throw this out here and maybe watch it or listen back to it tomorrow or after I watch it for a second time. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the characters were not completely fleshed out, and the ending could have been a little bit better because while I do appreciate no survivors and the power being shut off and they're just gonna freeze to death, but I don't know. I kind of wish. I don't know. It just missed and lacked something, and I can't quite put into words what it is just offhand without thinking about it or without rewatching it again. Something that bothered me though at the beginning, how hard is it to shoot the dog, bro? Come on, man. Like that dog, they were freaking flying up this thing on the helicopter. Like they were chasing in the helicopter forever and they couldn't kill it. Are you kidding me? Because I mean, if they're able to just land a shot on the helicopter or on the dog, who's to say that this whole event even happens? Straight up. But whatever. The opening I think is pretty cool. I do like the first 20 minutes. I think are pretty fucking awesome and epic. Shout out to the Norwegian dudes who gets a fucking bullet right in his brain. But yeah. All in all, I found The Thing from 1982 from another world to be really really entertaining. I liked it a lot. I would absolutely recommend it to pretty much anybody. I would recommend it to a friend. I think I would recommend it to a casual. I think I would. Definitely a horror fan and definitely a film fan because I feel like there are things to like a lot. There's no score, which is something I found kind of interesting. Like there's times where there's like deep like piano or organ, but otherwise there's not much of a score. Which is really unfortunate because John Carpenter's Halloween, hello, iconic score. And if I remember correctly, Christine had a pretty awesome score as well. But it's nitpicking. And I really wish I could come off my fucking dome piece and try and explain my issues with the ending, and also the characters. But I don't know. I just felt like they were a little lacking. But nonetheless, I think The Thing is a unique, intriguing, entertaining, interesting watch. The setting is fucking awesome. When was the last time you saw a goddamn horror movie that takes place in fucking Antarctica? Talk about fucking just no cry for help. You gotta wait until spring, my guy. You're fucked. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go with I'm feeling a I'm gonna say a four and because I don't really think the ending is a big issue. It's just a nitpick, you know. I'm gonna say a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, there are a few things that I didn't love, but I don't think that they were substantial enough. And I feel like this thing definitely will have a rewatch at some point. And I feel like after watching it again for a second time, it'll either clear things up or I'll be able to appreciate the ending and or the characters a little bit more. So yeah, I'm gonna go 4.5 out of 5. The Thing. Glad I finally got around to seeing it. I would say it lives up to the hype, and yeah, it's an '80s sci-fi horror classic. Straight up.